Of Rihanna's cuisines. Today we're going to be making pad thai my way. I've been doing a lot of research on how to do pad thai. There's no real correct way of doing it. You can modify the recipe by adding as much or as little as what kind of vegetables as you like. So I'm going to show you a very basic pad thai and then you can take it from there. So first of all, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to make the sauce at home. You can buy pad thai sauce that's already done at any of the Chinese stores, and you can do that, or Asian stores if you want to go and buy that. You're perfectly fine with that. But I really like using the palm sugar, and I like to experiment with the sauces, so I am going to make it at home. So for the pad thai sauce, we're going to be using this tamarind concentrate. Now this tamarind, if you look at it, look at the color of it. It's light brown. Some of the tamarind concentrate comes out in a really dark, like this soy sauce dark concentrate, and you don't want to use that because your noodles will become really discolored. So you make sure that you get when you get the tamarind, it's like brown and it's not like black. And then we're going to be using 1 to 2 discs of this palm sugar. And basically, palm sugar, it's just a natural sugar, and Asians use this a lot in their recipes. It smells more like gore, if you know. I can't remember the name of what the American name of the gore is right now. If I do, I'll let you know. But we're gonna be just shaving these and making the sauce for it. And then we're also gonna be using fish sauce. Now I just went to my Asian store and they have a a bottle about yay big for about $10, and she was telling me how that, like this one is like 69 cents, while that big, that it's not very cheap, but it's cold pressed. So what cold pressed means is that it's not very fishy, and I know we are not used to the very fishy smell of the fish sauce. But believe it or not, I did try this, and it really doesn't smell very fishy at all. And then you can adjust to how much you want to put it in. So before I go ahead and explain you all the other ingredients, let's quickly start the pad thai sauce, because it's just going to take a little bit for it to, for the discs to melt. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn my stove on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, now I usually make a lot of this sauce and put it in my refrigerator, and I use it all the time. So I'm going to be using like half a cup to 1 cup of the tamarind sauce. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit of soy sauce in there. And the reason I'm putting soy sauce in there, they usually don't have soy sauce in there, is because we are cutting down on the fish sauce. And fish sauce is pretty salty. So I'm just going to add a little bit because we're not used to it. And believe it, the hole is really small. So I'm just going to add that. And that's going to stay on the stove. In the meantime, I'm going to take 2 small discs here for our palm sugar. And I'm just going to chop it up, just like, just to help it dissolve in the sauce, so it doesn't take too long for us. The smaller the pieces, the faster it's gonna dissolve. And you just want to cook the sauce up to the point where you can tell that the sugar is completely melted. Just like so. I'm going to add that in there. Now we're also going to, very, very important that you do a taste test, because you really want to come up with a really flavorful sauce. So then if you need to adjust the palm sugar or the tamarind, you can do that. So we're just going to leave this on the stove and let this dissolve. In the meantime, let me go ahead and explain you the other ingredients that we're going to use. We're going to need some oil to, get our noodles and our veggies fried up. We're going to use some ginger and garlic. And I also have some fresh ginger here. You don't have to use it, but I absolutely love the aroma of the ginger and the health benefits that it has. I usually try and introduce this into a lot of my cooking just because of the health benefits too. So, and then I have here rice noodles, and these are fresh rice noodles, and they are, this is the brand that I'm using. You don't have to use this brand, but I'm using the Sincere Orient Food Company Pad Thai noodles, and you can soak these if you want, but you don't really have to, because I'll show you how we're gonna get them really nice and soft. You can also use dry ones. If you use the dry ones, make sure you bring it home and soak it in water for like half an hour before you put them in there. And if you're not very comfortable using it from here straight to the frying pan, go ahead and soak it for like 5 minutes, and it'll get really nice and soft for you. And then I have some sirloin beef that I had the butcher slice up really thin for me, and then I just kind of slivered it into long strips. I marinated it with just some ginger, garlic, and salt. That's it. I didn't put any pepper in there, and I didn't put any soy sauce in there. Excuse me. The reason I didn't put any soy sauce and black pepper in there is because I do not want the color of my noodles to change. So just basic, I mean, the Asians usually just put this in their frying pan and stir fry it as they're cooking, but I kind of like it, have it all done. And then I have half an onion here that I have cut in long strips, and then I have some matchstick carrots. You can use any type of cut that you like. I just had this in the fridge, so I'm gonna use these. I have about 3 eggs that we're gonna use here, and then in the end we're gonna be using fresh bean sprouts. Now with bean sprouts, if you're gonna bring them home, just please make sure that you're planning to make it like either today or tomorrow, because I did buy the bean sprouts like 2 days ago. I took it out of the fridge today and they were bad, so I had to go back to the Asian store and pick up some more. So bean sprouts gets bad really quickly, especially if they're in a plastic bag, so make sure that you plan accordingly. We're gonna have some fresh lime sprinkled on it, and then I have spring onions. You can also use chives if you want, and you don't want to use the ends. For this recipe, at least, you just want these, and we're gonna cut these up. So I'm going to move this over to my other stove and let this cook on its own. And I'm gonna get my wok out, and for this it'd be nice if you can if you have a big wok. It's just easy to cook with. So I'm just gonna turn this on over here so it can just slowly, because the palm sugar is still not dissolved yet. So for this, let's get started. I'm gonna get some things out of the way here so you guys can see things that we're not gonna use. Oh, and I forgot, Pad Thai does not require you to use lemon basil, but once you start using lemon basil in your Asian or Thai foods, you can't stop. It is the most amazing aroma in lemon basil. It is just absolutely wonderful. So we're gonna be chopping this up and putting this on the top too. And so let's get started. So in my wok here, you wanna put it on medium right now. You don't want it too high. We're gonna add some oil. I put some olive oil in there. You can use peanut oil if you want, but I stay away from that because we've got some nut allergies. Pad Thai also requires us to sprinkle some kind of peanuts and stuff on top. I'm gonna not do that, but if you want, you can go ahead and sprinkle some peanuts on it. And some of the recipes also showed that they were using peanut butter in the sauce. I've tried many variations of it, and this is the best recipe that I have come up with. So basically modify this recipe. This is just something that I'm going to show you what the taste that I like. So I'm just going to put some ginger and garlic in here and let this kind of cook up just a little bit, making sure that it's not going to burn. All right, and then okay. To this, I am also going to add our fresh ginger. The reason I love this dish so much is it's such a fresh ingredients. The aroma and everything is so fresh about it. Again, you can sliver this if you like, or you can chop them real thin. However you like them, you can do. I'm just gonna chop them up. Okay? Add as much or as little as you like. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add our onions to this. We'll increase the heat when we add the vegetables in there. I also have some water here. If I see that my noodles are starting to stick or they need to get more soft, we're going to be adding just a little bit of water in there. Now these onions are really nice and sweet. They're sweet Vidalia onions. They're white. They almost taste like an apple. Okay. At this point, I'm going to move this to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and break my eggs one by one. So if there's a bad one, I don't ruin the whole dish. Okay. What we're going to do with this is that we're just going to make a scrambled egg. And you just want to make sure that the egg is cooked and firm. Okay, so the eggs are pretty firm here and they're cooked up. Because the meat is already cooked, we're going to add it in last so we have enough room for the noodles. And I've added I'm going to be adding the whole packet here. It's a 16-ounce package of rice noodles. See how fast they're getting soft? sprinkle just a little bit of water. And what happens with the water is to see the steam coming out, that's gonna really nicely soften our noodles up without adding like a bunch of oil in there. So the trick to this is just to add water. If you need to, just add water to soften up the noodles. And they'll still soften up. We're gonna go ahead now and add our carrots in there. And we'll still see. If we still start sticking, we're gonna add just a bit more water. But look at how calm they became. It became, so let's go ahead and add our carrots. And the carrots I add just for color. You can even add green beans or asparagus if you like. I've tried it with both and it turns out really nice. Especially Chinese green beans are really nice and thin and long, and they look also really good in this dish. And I have increased my temperature to high. Whoop. I guess I need a bigger wok here. But anyways, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and add our sauce. But like I said, before we add our sauce, I just want to do a quick taste test. And make sure that it's just perfect. Really nice and sour. It's got that fishy smell in there, but not really bad fishy smell, really. It's actually really, really good. And I love that smell or the aroma of that palm sugar. It's really different and it's really good. Go ahead and mix all this up. I'm gonna go use my tongs instead. I think it'll be better. Believe it or not, our dish is done. Just have some last minute things to add in here, but it's done. Okay. And the nice thing about these noodles are they're gonna absorb all that fish oil. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. The nice thing about the noodles is it's really gonna absorb the, give a chance for the noodles to absorb the sauce. Okay. Right. I'm just gonna lower it just a little bit. And at this point, we'll go ahead and throw our meat in there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and, I'm sorry about the mess, guys. This is such a fast recipe to cook, and when you don't have a stove that's really on high temperature, it's hard to, so I'm just gonna cut them diagonally, and again, you can add as much or as little as you like. Okay, the other thing that we have to add is our bean sprouts in here. And then we're going to mix this all up. And then I need my lime squeezer. I'm just going to do one because the tamarind, it's sour, so I don't want to have the sour taste take over my dish. And then I haven't forgotten my lemon basil here. just by me opening up the packet, such great aromas came out, the lime aroma. And since it came out of the packet, I'm going to give it a quick wash. Okay, we're going to chop this up. And by chopping it up, you're really releasing all those oils. Okay. And our noodles have softened up really nice. So I'm not going to be adding any more water in there. Now this Thai dish is usually what they do is they serve this with on the side they have like fresh spring onions, fresh bean sprouts, and fresh. You guys enjoyed this video. It's one of my favorite videos, and I hope I can get some comments back from you guys. Leave me a comment on YouTube. Email me on rehanascuisines@gmail.com or follow me on Facebook under Rehanna's Cuisines. Just wanted to show you, this is how basically it is served with the pad thai noodles, lime on the side, you know, some bean sprouts, carrots, and spring onions. You can either serve it like this or you don't have to, but this is originally how it is served. And now I get to do the taste test with it, so give me a second here. It's got just the right amount of lime, just the right amount of sourness from the tamarind, and just the perfect amount of sweetness from the palm sugar. You guys have to give this a try and tell me what you guys think. This concludes our episode of making pad thai. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Rehanna's Cuisines. Hope I can see you here next time with another great recipe. See you then, friends.